Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So yesterday we found a new bug in our signpost system and I'm not sure where it comes from, but let's see if we can recreate it. So on this one, if we had more characters on one line here, let's see. See, look at that. Yeah, it doesn't add all the characters. Now there is a 19 character limit per line, but this was getting chopped off even, see, look, even without hitting that 19 character limit. Hey, what's up, Brightside? How's it going, dude? Yeah, doing well. I am, I'm just low energy. I had a big past 2 weeks of work. I only had, like, this weekend was my first day off in like 12 days. So I didn't even get to rest that much this weekend, so just a little low energy, you know, but we're still here doing the daily grind, trying to get some bug fixes working. I don't know why our text is getting cut off here on the text box, so we're trying to figure that out. But I hope you've been doing well, man. It's always good to hear from you and see you stream in. Because the idea here is if the next word that is going to be printed on, like this word light, can fit two or three more characters before it needs to be moved to the next line. So if we add 3 more periods here, it should just move that whole word to the next line and it should fit on the line. But what we see it do is move it to the next line and then not print out any of those characters. Now, I think if we were to try just the last 2 lines as the first 2 lines, let's see if that, you know, is it a last line problem or is it a next line problem sort of deal? Yeah. So it's not that it's the last line, it's that it's messing up. I don't know why, but we'll try to dig in here and see. So, one thing we did add recently. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely could use some rest, that's for sure. Okay, one thing we did add here recently was the advancement for the multiple pages, right? So we did it so that if we find 2 sequential space characters, that we increment the page we're on, we give us a new page. So where are we doing that? Because I feel like this wasn't broken until we added that, and we just didn't notice that we broke it once we added it. So I'm trying to think of where we added that. Yeah, where are we using this text index? We're not doing anything, right? With it? Oh, we reset it. Okay. No, that's essential. Yeah, okay, so let's look. If we find a space character, which is gonna be not here, but right here. If it is a space, if the last character was a space, then we do all this junk. So let's pretend that this doesn't exist. Yeah, let's pretend that this doesn't exist for right now. And just pretend like it's how it used to be and see if that fixes our problem. $134. Yeah, we might have to dig back. Oh, come on, man. We might have to dig back into a couple, oh, there's one too many ends here. Dig back into a couple commits ago and see what this code used to look like, because I think we just didn't fully test it. Okay, well, that is crashing. We're getting stuck in a loop there. Man, so like yesterday I said that we wouldn't do this on stream because no one wants to watch this crap. but I didn't have time to work on it today, so I'm kind of doomed to do it here. So here, while there's characters to check, that's the while loop that's killing us. And we're just doing all of this checking. And then we need to break the loop if we're on the last character. So that seems to work. Okay. So it looks like this was busted last time. Let's walk it through and see what the issue is, because I don't think it has to do with the space character. I'll leave that commented out so it doesn't confuse us. Oh my god, dude. Okay, I don't suggest trying to do this. But basically, text index starts as 1, and then we're pulling out the character from the self.text. That is the string that we actually define here, right here. So this right here is the self.text. So we're saying take out the char. It's a substring starting at the text index and ending at the text index. So it's just pulling the singular text index character from the string of text. That's our char. Then we're checking to see if it's a letter or not. Then we check to see if we need to grab the index of the first character of that word. Then we increment the word character count because we found a letter. If our text index is equal to text length, that means we're at the end of our string. And then we need to determine whether or not the current word can fit on the current line. So if the line character count plus the word character count is greater than our limit, which is 19 characters, then we go ahead and increment our line, count our total lines up, or increment our total lines up, and then if we're on a line past 3, we give ourselves a new page, give us the appropriate tables and empty strings for that page. Oh my gosh, man. We flush our word index grabbed false so that we can grab a new word index, right? Then we set our line character count equal to the word character count plus 1. See, that doesn't sound right to me. The line character count is, yeah, that doesn't sound right to me. This might be where it's messing up, because the line character count is, if there's 3 lines on one page of dialogue, it's how many characters we've successfully inserted into the current line we're on. So that's why we're checking up here the line character count plus the word character count to see if it fits on that given line. But if it is bigger than that line, Oh no, okay, no, this is right, because if it's, yeah, if we're needing to go on a new line, then the new line character count becomes the word character count plus 1. Now, does the plus 1, if we have a character count of 3, like if we have the string ABC, that would be a word character count of 3. Then we're setting the line character count to be 3 plus 1, which would be 4. I don't know if the plus 1 is needed here. I don't think that'll fix our problem, but I don't know if it broke anything. Oh, yeah. That's jacked up. Well, that's weird. It didn't, you know, it messed up this one because we have a dungeon after the space. Oh, well, that's okay. That's another thing that's screwed up. Let's put our space, our sequential space logic back on so that son of a, yeah, this is a little nuts. This is my first time trying to make anything anywhere near like this, you know, like a dialogue system. Never done anything like that, so I've definitely been learning. It doesn't look like it's screwing up simple stuff. Let's see if it's fixed over here. Nope. So what's happening is, for whatever reason, we're breaking. Now, it's not necessarily that we're breaking, it's just that we're not necessarily inserting the rest of the string for a given word. So like right here, oh my god, like look at this huge ass line here. Now, if we're under the max text box line length, meaning we can fit on the current line, then we're going to go ahead and append. So we're going to take, in our pages table, the page we're on, the line we're on, we're going to go into the string field of the line we're on, and we're going to assign it to be equal to the current string field that we already are equal to, and then the dot dot is concatenating another string, and the other string is a substring of our text with the starting index being equal to the first word index, the first word index of the character, the index of the first character of the word. That's what word index is. And then the ending of the substring is going to be the word index plus the word character count. So I think what this means is, like, you know, if we're, let's say the string is ABC, we're going to put it on the first line. We're going to concatenate it to itself, which it starts as an empty string. So then we're going to add a substring starting at the word index, which is A, because word index of 1 because of the ABC string. Ending index would be 1 plus the character count. So this copies over the whole word plus a space. And that's why we have to check, you know, because this is kind of assuming, and this is probably, look, let's try this real quick. If we go here and we have this light and then we put a space at the end of it, let's see if it shows up now. It does show up. So what's messing up here is the fact that we're not appending the entire string if we end on a space. So let's see where we do that. You know, we say if the character is a space. Well, let's see, because we're checking here. We're checking here. It's not that we want to break. This is the issue here. This is the line right here. Before we break, we need to append. We need to append the current word. Is that right? We need to append the current word because let's walk it through as if we end on a space. You know, we end on a space, so we're over here in our text index while loop. We have this: if the last character was a space, that's the previous character, not the space not the character we're on. So this would be here. If the word can fit on the current line, then we append it. Man, yeah, it looks like we should have this fixed. But we know it's not appending a word sequence. And that's what's weird, is like it works if we have like a short enough sequence, but once it becomes a certain length, it messes up. Uh-oh. That's jacked up. Oh no. Because of this. You know what? Let me take a look, because I know we did have at least a temporary solution to this. I mean, I thought it worked, but let's see. Let's see in our commit history. I don't even know how to go and see the commits. Here. Okay. It should be just NPC dialog box working. Add text advance. Look at this, working parsing for multiple dialogues. I don't know if that included the space or not. Let's check it from here. Yeah, we didn't touch it. We didn't touch it over there. I'm remembering a line of code before this break. Yeah, we didn't fix this until a little later on. Well, I guess we just gotta remember how we fix it, because it's not that, you know what? Yeah, I mean, this should work, because we're in the case that we end on a space character. Well, yeah, in the case that we end on a space character, our text index would be equal to our text length. So let's try to only break the loop if we're greater than our text length, and see if that might help us. Oh my gosh, did that work? Hold on. No, I think we still have a space at the end. Yeah, we do. We take out the space. Yeah, fuck. Still busted. Okay, so if we're on the last... Let's just try to do this. If we're on the last character, and if the character is a space... I don't know why this would be wrong. Well, let's see. We pull the char here in the while loop. So we can't do anything here with char. Man, it's such a sneaky bug. Like, I didn't even know it existed until last night. Okay. So it's just not appending the next word if we end on a character space. That's where the issue is. Not if we end on a space, it's if we end on a character. So you know, if we are on a character here, and this should be character. Okay, if our text index is equal to our text length. Now, okay, I need to write this out. So like if we have a string of ABC, that is a text length of 3. And the text index starts at 1 on A, meaning B would be 2, meaning C would be 3. So if by the time we get to the last character, C in this case, is equal to 3, and 3 is equal to our text length, we better be appending that whole word. So the first thing we're doing is saying, well, does it fit on the current line? Or does it fit on, you know, it does the word plus our current line character count, is it greater than the line limit? If so, we're going to increment our line. If we're on the 4th line, we need to give us a new page and reset our line to 1. Okay, then we set our word index grabbed false so we can grab a new line. We reset our line character count to be equal to the word character count. And the +1 here is necessary because we're counting for the space. We're counting for this is only if the character, only if this is a character. So if by the time the character is the last in the text index loop, we're going to say, well, the line character count, this is only if we have to increment our line number. So we're resetting the line character count to be equal to the word character count plus 1. Now I think that's right, because what we do here is we add the word index plus the word character count. That gives us one index past the end of the word, which this might be where it's messing up. Because in this case, this doesn't have the space. This is if it's a character. So if it's a character, you know, it makes sense to do, because look, we're doing the same thing here. We're saying word index plus word character count. That should include the space. So what we're trying to do is say we're going to append to the current line we're on. We're going to concatenate that with the word index count, word index plus word character count minus 1 to negate it, because the word index would be equal to the first character. Then the count, if we add the whole count, that'll be 1 index past the end of the character. So we're going to subtract that 1 because there is no space to add. We just want the last character to be appended there. Let's see. Well, that's wrong. Didn't even kind of work. Yo, what did we jack up? Oh no, man. It's not even kind of right anymore. I think it's because of this. Okay. Okay. So let's go back up here and we'll try this again. If we're on a character And this is only, oh, this, I think this is it. This part right here should be outside of the loop. This part, or the if condition. This pages concatenation is only if the text index is equal to the text length. No, okay, that is right. So yeah, if we're at the end of our text, then we need to append the word that we just added. So we'll take the substring. I still think this needs to be a -1. Looks okay on that one. Yeah, it doesn't even kind of like that. Let's try another string where we say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's, you know, it works fine there. That copied over right. That's always the most frustrating thing to me, is like the inconsistency of bugs, you know? See, like there, it didn't print up that new word. There's so many issues that could be. It's tough, dude. Let's get rid of this and see if it makes any difference. It pulls that first character. So if we could find where it's pulling this first character from and why it's only pulling the first character, then we might be okay. So let's see. You know, I think it's right here, you know, because we're at, you know, the last character is a character and not a space. And the text index is equal to the text length. So here we're saying, yeah, if we need to increment our line number, go ahead and do it. Now we do. Yeah, do we need this +1? The line character count for the next... Oh, yeah, we do need the +1 for the spaces. Because... Gosh, you know what? I don't know if we need the +1. Jesus, my brain's melting here. Okay, we're taking the string, we're concatenating it with itself plus a substring of the word index plus the word character count. So as long as we are incrementing the word character count, which we are, and as long as we have a word index grabbed, you know, the word index gets snagged right here. Whatever the text is, yeah, as long, yeah, we snag the index of the first character of a given word. And then I'm gonna say that we just, first thing we do is increment our word character count. We have a word index equal to the text index of a word index grabbed being false. So where do we do word index grabbed being false? It should be as soon as we find a space and as soon as we insert it. So we have a word index grabbed false here, but it doesn't look, oh, we have it here too. What I'm gonna do is say, yeah, we have it in 3 spots here. What I'm gonna do is say that we just take it once, word index grabbed false. If we find a space, then we need to grab a new word to append. So I want to do it right there once, and we should be able to delete it from here. And word grab, there was one other one. Right here, word index grabbed. Okay. If the last character... Oh, we might be screwing something up here because we're not flushing our last character was a space. Back to false. Let's see. Last character was space. We don't... Oh, yeah, we do. Okay, we do it then. So we start with not finding a last character as space. If we grab a new word, then we know that the last character was a space. But how are we knowing, you know, we set last character grab to be equal to a space. I think we need to do that here right off the bat. You know, no, this isn't right. Because this has nothing to do with the previous character, has to do with the current character we're on. So in this context, so when we find a space character, if our last character was a space, which we only become that, this is like a, I don't know, this is like a contradiction here. Because we're only becoming last character was a space true if we weren't a last character was a space. Gosh, yeah, this is backwards. Because what this is supposed to do, this is just a way for us to increment or to like manually put like a page break in between the dialogue boxes. And this is what we came up with. I think it's kind of screwing us over. So at least for right now, I think I'm going to turn it back off. Because I think it's getting in the way of things. But if we can figure it out, okay. This is what we need to comment out, and then we should be able to run. Okay. So look, this is the, you know, tavern. This is jacked up, dude. We commented out the multi-page stuff, so that's why it's all jacked up. Or the not the multi-page stuff, but the sequential space stuff. Okay, so we're still not printing up the last word if it ends in a character and not a space. We've got the first character. This is so weird. Why does it stop? There might be an issue in this, you know, when do we increment text index? That is just part of our increment here in our while loop. So we just go one by one. Okay, so if I think this might have something to do with as we add words to another line. Well, let's see. You know, we increment every text index. You know, we increment it every time we pull out the char of that given text index that we're on. Then we're testing if it's a space or a character. So, like, the issue here might be that we're not breaking long enough. So, like, if we were to have, like, a... I'm just going to make a little test here and say that we're going to increment a test number. So, I'm going to start our test number at 0. So, let's go up here. And what we're going to do is, instead of doing this break, Because I think this break might be the issue, so I'm just wanting to test that. So we're going to say test number gets 0. We're going to increment test number. If our text index essentially, if our test number is greater than a 57 character limit, then we're going to break so that we don't crash, but we don't willy-nilly break just if our text index is greater than our text length, because I don't know if there's some sneaky bug happening here. Okay, that's not it. Okay, so it's still, it's not breaking early. So let's just say, if this were to break, oh, you know what? Since this is in the condition, this could still be busted. Let's take this out of the condition here. We'll increment it. If it's bigger, we break. We don't do anything otherwise. Let's see. We're looking for that last word of light with a lot of periods at the end. Okay, well, that really doesn't show us anything. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, so I guess the question is, are we appending a word to the current string if we're on the last character of the string? Now, if our text index is greater than the text length, not equal to or greater than, but just greater than, then we're going to break this loop. But we set this text index back to 1 after this while loop gets broken out of. So let's maybe, instead of breaking, let's just say characters to check gets false, because we're not even using that. Characters to check gets false. It should have the same properties, but yeah, so this last string here, this is so tricky. See, we have this light with a lot of periods. Now, if we just have like ABC, does it work? We should put it on the signpost closer to us. Okay, ABC works fine. Let's go and we'll change it to this one. We'll test it on this. So this is a test for what's tough is I don't know what's causing the bug, because sometimes it works with multi-page. See, look, like that one worked fine. But Lighthouse kind of naturally fits on that next line. So if we take out this 4 and see what it does. It works fine. See, there's the issue. Now, is it just because it's not a friendly character? Like, is it if we replace these characters with A, B, C, D, does it work okay? No. And creatures by itself works. Creatures ... works, but creatures dot 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 4 dots does not work. So why? Why? Because it's not just that if it's a big... Because we know it can print a big word. Well, let's try it. If we give it... Like, is there any scenario where we get the creatures printing up on this second word? I don't think so. Okay, maybe not. So what is it about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 character string? Does it not like 13 character strings? Insert 13 eyes. Say 13, insert I. And then we'll say 13, insert E. Let's see if it doesn't like 13 characters. Well, it doesn't like the second 13 characters. But does it like 12? Like, what is the issue here? It doesn't like 12 either, so what? Do you like 3? Like, I can't tell where it's messing up. Just if it's on a new line. So let's see when we increment our new line what the logic is. So we're saying if we find a space, if we find a space, then what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, did we increment our word? We need to increment our word character count if we find a space, right? I guess it's not. Okay, maybe this is the issue. Because we need to see if, you know, we have to increment our word character count. Well, I guess we don't. Because anytime we find a word character, we increment it up there. So by the time we find a space, then we're saying, okay, well, if the current line character count plus the word character count is smaller than the limit, then go ahead and append it to the current line. Else, increment your line, then append it. And potentially add a new page. So let's see. I think we need... Where are we incrementing this line character count and where are we resetting it? So anytime we find a character, we don't... Where are we doing the line character count increment? All we ever do is set it here. Well, we have 11 matches, so maybe not. We set it here, in this case. And we set it here, in this case. And we also set it here, in this case. What the heck, man? So we do it. Okay. Okay, so the one here is if we are greater than the current line that we're on, we're going to increment the line we're on. Then we're going to reset the line character count to be equal to the current word character count plus a 1. Now, the 1 is counting for the space. Yeah, because this is, well, this is if we find a character. So, if we find a character, this is just if, gosh man, this is nuts. If this is the last character we grab, then our line character count is set to be equal to, see, this is wrong. The line character in this case wouldn't just be set to the word character count, it would be set to the line character count that we already exist plus our word character count, not the +1. That might help us. No. I mean, this sounds right to me. The line character count, well, we're not actually doing anything with this line character count. Yeah, we're not actually doing anything with this because we only do something with it if it can't fit on a current page. But we're saying if the last character of the string, we might have to check. We do check. God damn it. We do check if the line character count. Okay, so I think we need to increment this line character count before we check. So if we're on our last character, then we're going to update our line character count to be whatever it currently is plus the word character count for the word we're currently in. And if that is greater than the current line, then we're going to increment the line, and then we're going to append that last word to the current string. So let's see. We're still jacked up, man. Yeah, we're just not appending the last character if it's not, gosh, the last word if it ends on a character. That is just so weird. So where are we jacking up? It wouldn't be here. Actually, yeah, it wouldn't be here because this is only if we find a space character. This is only for adding words. Yeah. And then this is only if our text index is here. So let me just maybe see, you know, if we try to append the word before we do any of that junk, what does it kind of do? It has the string, it has the e's there, it just didn't put it on the right line. So this should have lighthouse. It just didn't put it on the right line. So somewhere in here it's messing up. Somewhere in here we're saying the line character count, which normally only gets updated after finding a space. Because if we look at line character count, we say, yeah, this right here where we're incrementing the line character count, this is if it's a space. And then this one is also if it's a space. We could probably take, wait, what are we doing here? If the word can fit on the current line, meaning our current line character count plus the word character count is smaller than our text limit, then we can append that string, and then we're going to set the line character count equal to itself plus the word character count plus 1 for the space. I think that's right. Okay. So let's assume line character count is working okay. Well, if we find a space, our line character count here is, yeah, we're incrementing the line character count here. Now this is, okay. So I guess the difference here between these two line character counts is this is if the word can fit on the current line, then we're going to take its current line character count plus the word plus 1 for the space. And if it can't fit on the current line, meaning it has to go to the new line, we're reassigning this to be equal to whatever the word character count is plus 1. Now, I don't think the plus 1 is actually right here because we don't have a space at the end of this word because we're ending. Actually, hold on. This is if it's a space character. God damn it. So yeah, if it is a space and we couldn't fit on, if we had to fit on a new line, then we're gonna say it's the word character count plus 1 for the space, yeah. Then reset our word character count to 0. We also need to flush our index grab, to which we do if we find a space. Okay. So I don't see why why it's broken. All that to say, I don't see why it's broken. And what's extra frustrating is like we could just add the space at the end of it, and that is allowing us to print it out. But what it doesn't allow us to do is to, man, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to remember to put a space at the end and then it jacks things up. Because right there, the lighthouse had a ... and it had a, oh, well, we had a space in there. Wait, so it had a space in there and then it worked. It worked for... I think it's only messing up once it puts it on a new line, because it ends in a character there and that works. Hey, what's up, Magnetonics? That one worked. And it ended on a character. So we are accounting for strings that end in a character. But what it's not getting right is when we have to increment the line number. So there's two parts where we can increment the line number, and it's either if we are at the end of a string, which is right here, and we increment the line we're on here, and that's only changed if we're a line of 4 or more. We reset it back to 1. And then the other time is if we add a word and that word is greater than the limit, then we're going to increment the line number. We reset it here. Dude, I thought I was done with it. And then we found like a little hidden bug. So, you know, we've got it to where we can have like multi-pages. So like, well, that's all busted because I'm trying to fix stuff, but you know, I mean, it is a big part of the game, but I haven't got the hard part done yet, which is figuring out how to handle the branching dialogue system, right? So like, you know, like how it progresses over time, you know, because certain dialogues will only show up once and there'll be a progression system. So like, that's what I haven't figured out yet. So that's what I'm kind of, man, and now everything is busted on this now, dude. I'm not even sure where we go to get this back. But now our multi-page stuff is busted. Okay, so it only printed the E's there because we have a space at the end of the string. Yeah. If we take out the space at the end of the string, we jack up. Dude, you know, I'm asking myself that too, Magnetonics, because the thing is, like, I can just add a space to the end of the character and it prints things. The only thing that messes up is if the last word to go on the line would be perfectly in the line limit. Since we added the space, I think it jacks that up. So yeah, I'm halfway just tempted to just call it. But every time I do this, I think it's a simple fix, and then I just get stuck working on it for way too long. But, you know, it's half the issue is, like, even though this sucks ass and it's like a waste of time in a lot of ways, it's also like not a waste of time in the sense that I'm kind of like learning how to think these things through, but if I'm not making any progress on it, I'm not really learning. So it's hard to make that call. Yeah, this is all jacked up. Man, this is so jacked up. We should be able to fit. This is very wrong. Yeah, we should be able to fit 4 E's on that first line. And it's not. And it's not printing. So we jack something up. Right. Well, that I did until everything just busted. So I might just get stash our changes and retry it. Let's see. All we did was we refactored word character count to be outside. We added this line character count. What? Okay, so where did we add word index grabbed? We added it outside. Okay, so that shouldn't be the issue. This shouldn't be the issue. The only thing we took out is this line character count here. In the... what line is that? Okay, so what I'm going to do... I'm going to stash our work there. We're going to refresh this. How do I do this? Okay. Let's try it. Okay. So we should have the 2 pages working again. It does look like it's working. We'll do a little test here and see if the cheater fix can fit. So the issue is, like, right here, you know, a word here can fit 4 more characters. And when it loops to the next line, if it's a big word, it's just not printing out. So if we have, let's say, 3 more periods here. I really should test the one right there so we don't have to walk. Okay, so that's as many that can fit on that current line. And then if we add 1 more, it just doesn't print up the characters. It doesn't want to print up the word. But then the weird thing is, like, so it doesn't want to print up that word, but if we put a space at the end, then it prints up the word. So, you know what? Yeah, magnetonics, we might just call it. We might just, if we run into this error, we just put a freaking space at the end and call it. I don't like, you know, it feels like giving up, but also like this is like, you know, I've spent over a week on this. So it's a little nuts. Let's test and see if it screws up. Like, let's see if we can add. I want to see if we can add a more text to where it ends on a character and it's completely flush with the right side. So it looks like we can do and then maybe another and. So if this was an and, can it fit flush at the end? And if that's the case, then we're just going to do the cheater fix, because I've already spent over an hour trying to figure this out with no success. See, and should be able to fit on that last page here. And it's not. We take out, you know, make it just an. It should fit with one space. Oh, okay, no, that is flush. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it. I think we're just, if we run into that issue, we just have to add a space at the end of the string in order for it to add, which is weird because I thought we accounted for that. Like, I read through the code, it looked like we accounted for that, but it just doesn't work. So I don't know why. We can take out this word index grabbed, and we can do this as long as we have a space character. We go ahead and do the word index grabbed, it gets false. And then we can also take out our, what was it? Oh, word index grabbed here. This doesn't need to be here, because we don't grab a new word if we're at the end of our word text. So okay, yeah, so we'll give proper dialogue here before we commit. There was another refactor we can pull off. I'm forgetting what it was. Not seeing it now. Was it the line we are on? No. Okay, well, I think we're good. Where are we doing that? Okay, let's get rid of that. And then instead of breaking here, we're just gonna do our words to check. Characters to check. Gets false. Okay. You cannot enter without light. Let's just do that. And that's supposed to, you're supposed to have to put your light, your yellow tunic on in order to go in those dark dungeons down, you know, underground. So we'll be maybe working with some shaders for that, which I've never done before, but we'll look up how to do it. Okay. all right. I mean, I don't like that we just gave up on it. We gave it a decent effort, and I could not figure it out. And we have a workaround, and it doesn't seem to impact other things, other than if it's busted, we need to add a space at the end. So that's a little frustrating. Yeah. No, I agree, Magnetonics. It's always it's a tough call because it feels like you give up and like you didn't learn how to do it right, but also I need to get the game done, and this is just not conducive to productivity, and I tried, multiple days to get it working. So I don't know what the issue is. It's very hard to debug without a proper debugger. So yeah. The more interesting problem is the dialogue advancement system to track like who's said what line, have a pool of lines to choose from, and when to advance those dialogue lines. Yeah, it can hurt the morale, working on the same dumb issue that doesn't really need to be fixed and then getting beat by it, So yeah, I agree. So I think next up we're probably going to be trying to make the process easier for the warp zones. So like when we walk into a building like this, we have to manually place the warp zone and the player, as well as the warp zone back to come back, and place the player to come back if they're in different locations. So I don't like the current process. It's a lot of me guessing. So I think another big part is going to be like, hey, can we have a function that just says what tile, row, and column to put a warp zone, which scene to warp to, and which tile to spawn the player. And that'll handle putting the warp zone to warp back just out of reach of the player, so that we can speed up the process of adding other rooms, because it took me like 12 minutes or so to manually place this stuff. And if we wanted to move anything, if we wanted to move the doorway over to 2 tiles to the left or right, we have to kind of rehaul and recalculate the X and Y position, which is just kind of silly. So like I want to be able to just say, give a function and say put it here, and then handle where it puts the player. Put it here, put the warp zone here, handle where it puts the player, so that we can kind of speed up production that way. And then we're basically at the point where we can start to do level design, like actual level design for certain stuff, because we have NPCs we can talk to, we have collisions, we've got other entities. We just need to add a couple more sprites for more variety, so that we can shape the world like little boulders or other barriers, so that we don't just put these fences everywhere, because it's like, it's just so boring to put these fences everywhere to kind of limit where the player can go at the beginning of the game. So we need to figure out how we can kind of, Metroidvania build out, new advancements into world exploration, one piece at a time. So that's going to get interesting, and then it'll really start to come together after that. I mean, it's already looking much more alive with all the characters and all the interaction. So I think the move is to keep, once we have some new sprites, we can start to add maybe, like what does the first level look like, and then how do we incorporate the entities into the world, and what that looks like. I don't like how they can just walk through the walls of the dungeon here. So we'll have to kind of imagine what that might look like. But yeah, it's coming together. It's looking okay. I'm happy with it. It's just a little defeating that we can't get some silly bugs done with the dialogue system, but it's whatever. All right. Yep. We'll call it there. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll start to do. I guess we might be doing some more pixel art so that we can populate the cabins and stuff. And then as well as be able to draw more complex levels, and then we can start building out level 1, and then we'll just add things as we need them. So like I guess we'll just have to kind of play by ear. But that's it for today. We'll raid out here. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of the night and a good week.